Previously,
Kathy Freeman.
a blast from the past
Michael Voss walks in, followed by the ex-recruits.
lit a fire under some. Before a devastating D-list
Too slow. Too old.
had the remaining recruits reeling.
You are delisted, all three of you.
Go.
Coming up,
Has got him. Well
the
done.
recruits get physical,
Good, Justin. That's the one, Justin.
push themselves to the limit,
Good. Attack it.
while a game on one of the great old grounds sets the scene for a strategic D-list.
You're delisted.
There was definitely a lot of nervous energy in the air after the Triple D list. All the boys really wanted to make a statement this week and show that they are here for a reason and shouldn't have been sent home with the other boys.
He goes, Jackson, what do you eat it when you get home from school? And I go, 12 party pies.
Oh my
And he
God.
goes, well, that's where you're going. I didn't know that was wrong.
Would you reckon party pies just help you play good footy?
Well, back then I didn't know.
Anything with pastry is no good. 13. So that's down, they're all down about 2 so far, so that's
Two.
2. Each one.
Skin folds are a good indication of how much fat you've actually got on you. There's no hiding your skin folds and what you're actually putting in your body on a day-to-day basis.
This is what I'd be doing here. I'd be squeezing the hell out of you. Make you think about your guts.
Hey, how's your skin folds going, Jackson?
So there we go.
Are you going all right? Mate, well done. Get that into you.
So he's going to grab that.
I'd love to see what Dicko's skin folds are, but I suppose when you play over 200 games and you aren't playing anymore, you can do whatever you want.
Do you reckon you've improved since last time?
Yeah, I moved away from home at such a young age and, you know, I wanted to pursue my dreams in AFL and I think now I'm getting professional help from guys that been through that AFL system. I think I really am improving a lot.
That's down to 6. What have you changed, do you think, to maybe make it better?
Changing my eating, especially with sweet stuff like ice creams and lollies.
Yeah. 64, well done. Heaps down, good work.
I think the boys really do start to think that I'm a threat now because I'm working on some of the things that I've slacked on.
What have you cut out?
Everything. No soft drinks, no lollies.
Darren's a quality bloke. He's improved week in, week out, and he's only a 20-year-old kid. It's a credit to himself what he's doing and creating dreams for not just him but his family.
The boys are getting the idea of healthy eating. They're cutting out things like soft drinks and lollies and extra sweets. 65 down from 84.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
Darren, Daniel and Jackson made the biggest improvements. Some of them dropped 20 in skin folds, 15 in skin folds, and that's a huge improvement for that period of time.
All right, let's get into training. Inside out kick in the middle of the ground to start it. Mick and I are going to ping some balls at you.
Daniel. Good hands. Come to meet the football.
But guess what this week's all about? Dedication. Okay, you've got to self-assess now. We're over the halfway point. We know what's up for grabs. Self-assess. Darren, speed. Yep. Speed. Hand, foot, run.
After the D list, I don't feel as if my self-confidence is growing. That could have been me in the bottom 3.
Tell me, Jackson.
Urgency.
Go. Start it off. Urgency, kicking, pull the trigger.
You never know when it's going to be your last day, so I'm just trying to make sure that I do everything right and stay towards that top end.
Jack.
Mobility.
Lateral movement, get out of a contest, change lanes, OK?
4 people could go home this week. Definitely feeling the pressure a little.
Jordan, execution, hand and foot.
Everything about you says league football except your disposal. If you don't get that right, waste of time.
We all do have weaknesses, and if we do not work on them, then our days will be up.
Justin, you're working on everything. But more importantly, when we're in tight and all that, what are you going to use?
Body.
Body.
I'm determined to win the recruit. Obviously missing out as a kid. It's my chance to make up for it, and I want to do everything I can to win.
You got the footy? Jackson, you're going to get him. Matty, you're going to jump in there and protect him without giving away free kicks. Go! Come on, Jackson. Come on, Jackson.
One of the hallmarks of a great sportsman is generally his abilities, or talents, if you like. But coupled with that is dedication.
Come on, keep him away.
Talent alone does not get you into the top level of sport. It's the never-give-in spirit. The Collingwood side that I coached in 2010 had 8 rookies in it. All those players were overlooked for the draft. So you go beyond what the ability you've got from your parents, and you dedicate your life to a single cause. And you throw everything you've possibly got at it.
All right, Daniel, you have that ball. Just, you got to get him. You got to rip his head off. Come on.
Me and Jordan come up against each other in a little drill that Mick told us that we had to use our bodies. We were giving each other a few bumps, and I think I got a little bit angry and he got a little bit angry, so got a tiny bit heated.
Hit him again, that's it. Hit him again. Come on, Justin. That's the one, Justin.
We all knew Justin had some deep down anger in him that he probably hadn't shown previously, but it took me to actually bump him in the chest and take the wind out of him before he actually showed it.
Atmosphere around the house, it is coming to the end of the competition, and I think the boys are really starting to know that it's really is getting a bit competitive.
I didn't do it, mate. It's yours and Daniel's. I don't have one pair. Oh, I don't use this one. They're not mine. Use
Pressure's really starting to get to a lot of the boys, and I think we've just got to concentrate on what we're doing and not worry about anyone else.
Up to here.
Get up. Everyone up. Come on. Enemies. Give yourself to get up. You've got 10 minutes, we're going. Up, everyone up.
I looked up and just seen this big shiny bald head looking at me, and it was Big Barry Hall telling me to get out of bed. Nearly soiled me pants, I think. It was pretty intimidating.
My biggest focus was just packing my bags and trying to keep Barry happy.
Everyone up, come on, get out of bed.
Yeah, not the most ideal start to the day, having someone as big and scary as him.
No sleep-ins today.
Oh, man, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
We've got like a minute, we've got to leave.
We'll be in for a bit of a ride today, I think. Sort of.
All right, boys, we're obviously on a bit of a trip. Not going to tell you where we're going or what we're doing, but let me just say, this is going to be challenging. It's going to be the hardest thing the recruit's ever done. But footy throws up curveballs and mental challenges on a weekly basis. Today's a curveball, and you've got to be mentally challenged.
Obviously, we realised we were going somewhere. That destination we weren't too sure of until we got our boarding pass from Jetstar, and that obviously said Newcastle. So the first thing that clicked into our head was, what the hell can we do in Newcastle?
Me and Jack gave a little secret high five over on the side, and yeah, come on New South Wales.
There was still no indication on exactly what we were doing. There was no giveaways.
You got an idea?
What have we got here, boys?
You got an idea now?
Good morning, recruits.
You go, mate.
You no doubt had a harsh wake-up this morning? Yeah. Today, we have the awesome Big Bad Barry Hall, one of the most feared men in the AFL. This man was tough, mean, but more importantly, one of you who wins the AFL contract will be up against a bloke like this. To decide this week's captain, you'll be taking part in the Raw Challenge, one of the biggest, baddest obstacle courses around, with 30 stamina-sapping stations to negotiate. You'll be racing each other, you'll be scaling walls, balancing on beams, wading through mud.
This Raw Challenge will test your strength, your agility, and your stamina. I want to see which one of you have got what it takes to get ahead of the pack. Now, we know what's at stake here. There's a lot. The fastest man wins. Simple as that.
Boys, let's get raw. On your marks. Get set. Captain's up for grabs. Good.
Up and over, up and over. Good work.
That's it, Darren, that's it.
This next one's a tester.
Good work, Darren.
Good work.
Straight over it. Look at Matty. He's going for back-to-back.
The first wall wasn't too bad. The second wall I just got over. The third wall, not happening.
Come on, Justin.
Oof, this was getting tough.
Throughout the obstacle, I would have had a bit of advantage of with my speed and agility, but I knew at some points there were some things that really were going to challenge me as well.
That's it. Big steps. Quick feet, quick feet.
I actually went into the tyres third and was in a pretty comfortable position, and I started doing one by one because my legs obviously aren't very long, but they did about 4 tyres at once, so quickly zoomed past me, and yeah, the tyres I was bloody hopeless at.
That's it, Jack. Attack it. That's it.
Quick feet, mate. Come on, you can make up ground. 1 foot, 1 tyre. Get through.
We got to the mud wading pool and looked like a piece of piss running through there. I knew Daniel would struggle getting over there, so I went to give him a boost and his force pushed me back into it, so I was on all fours in the mud.
They've really slowed down. They're really starting to struggle.
I thought, why the bloody hell are these blokes taking so long? Little did I know that once I finally got there, I found out the hard way while they were pretty much standing there like statues. I remember a few boys running past. I was screaming at them to help me out, and the bastards just kept going, so I was pretty pissed off.
Wherever the weakest is, we'll go, so definitely a bit of pressure there.
I really felt I lost the challenge.
If you're not doing well in the challenges and you're coming towards the back, you're definitely getting a target on your back.
Once you get past this, you make up your ground.
Given that we're only about 200 metres in of a 4-kilometre obstacle course, I just thought this is going to be one of the hardest things I can do because I'm already absolutely spent.
Very exhausting.
Physically, I think one of the hardest things I've done in my life.
Get a rhythm now, get a rhythm.
That's it, Darren, that's it.
I did feel as if I was in a bit of a war zone. Mentally, I felt as if I could push myself, but physically, my body just wouldn't let me.
Come on, up quick, up quick. On your feet, on your feet. Over, over, over.
Physically, amazingly tough. This challenge was definitely a mental challenge.
There was doubts in my mind where my body was telling me to stop, but my mind was just telling me to keep pushing and keep going.
I looked up and seen this big, massive net that was on the ground. There was about 4 other boys in there that looked like blowflies in a spider web. They didn't know what was going on. There was legs going everywhere, arms going everywhere. Some were rolling, some were trying to crawl.
Jack took over me. He just flew through it. I just didn't have the right technique.
That's it, Jack.
You want the captaincy.
Push now,
again.
mate, push now.
Super confident I can win this race. Now I've got the lead.
Losing the lead, yeah, I tried my hardest to get back, trying to keep focused and just keep running.
You do all the climbing and lifting, and then you've got to get to the next one. So it's not a free ride. You have to work your ass off in between.
Coming out of each obstacle, your eyes are on in the back of your head going, how am I going to get to the next one, or how am I going to get through to the next one?
Good work, Jack. Good work.
When there's a little break and there's a run, making ground on them. So I'm pretty confident I can hold the lead. A bit like Forrest Gump. Just kept running, kept my eye on the prize.
Hey, good start. Then jump in far as you can. Far as you can.
Anything was going to kind of defeat me, you'd want it to be something really physical or something, but yeah, you don't really take into consideration there'd be a balance thing. That'd kill you in the end.
I was glad to go past Jack, but I knew I still had a big job ahead of me in catching Jaden. With each obstacle getting harder and harder, I believe I was closing that gap and grinding my way closer to him. Him being as old as he is, I thought it's just a matter of time before he collapses and his hip pops out.
I think I blew out way too early. Let the nerves get the best of me, and I guess obviously fitness was a factor.
Jordan's probably the fittest in the house, and definitely I thought he should have done better.
Just tried to be a bit of a hero and go about 4 at a time instead of 1 at a time like the rest of the boys did.
Didn't pay off.
Definitely dropped off, but he still has that ability to work himself back into the competition, I would have thought.
Come on, Jax.
Jackson's
Nearly there. Come on.
You know, you got to just keep ticking over and keep working, and that dedication really stuck in my head.
Yeah, I got the lead at this stage after catching him on a run. I was hoping that there was only 2 or 3 around the corner, but that wasn't the case. With the cylinders, there's nothing to hold on to. I was struggling to find me traction.
Jackson couldn't see me, which was good, so he couldn't see my strategy, but I think he was just going bull of the gate.
I didn't think it was possible for him to get up there as quick. I was absolutely spewing when I seen him jump out with his bloody old hunchback that he's got. I suppose he used that to an advantage.
He wasn't happy that I was in front of him.
Getting to the last couple, I seen that he was taking his time just to make sure that his body got through him. I was, right on his hammer.
Oh, here he comes. Jackson's coming.
Jackson's going to catch him.
Come on, Jax. Good boy. Pump away. It's worth it.
Jackson's got ya. Go on, Jaden.
Get up to your last little hurdle. Come on, mate. Come on. Last-ditch effort. Come on, bud. It's all worth it. Good boy.
Well done.
Good boy. Oh, Jaden, good
How
boy.
much did you want to give it the fist bump?
Well done, bud.
Well done.
Good boy.
I've got so close in the captain's challenges in previous ones, so to win this one was a really great feeling for me.
Jaden definitely deserves the armband. He performed terrifically today. Showed us that he's a threat in the competition, and he didn't slip up at all in the challenge, and that's why he's first.
Good work, lads. Good effort. Oh, Jaden was fantastic, and you could just see in his face when he was running that he wanted it.
Well done, Darren. Good finish, mate.
I feel I've already got a target on my head. We're at the pointy end of the competition, and boys have got to start looking at things to vote for, and obviously I've given them something to vote for.
He's going to go the whole one.
He's going to do the whole course. Well done, Justin.
Come on, Just, get through,
Finish
mate.
it
Come
off.
on.
Until there's a goal kicking challenge, I think Justin's going to come last in everything.
Well done, mate. Good stuff. Got through it. That's a really tough course. The fact that you've all finished well, despite the places you come, I think that's a real feather in your cap. So you should take that away and try and relate that into footy somehow, that you can get through stuff no matter how hard it is.
But there's only one winner. We know what was at stake. Captain this week, Jaden.
Jaden.
Well done, mate.
Age is definitely just a number. I think that proves that I'm dedicated enough to do anything and accomplish anything, and my time's definitely not up, it's just starting.
Boys, you've got a massive game tomorrow. We're going to travel to Sydney now. You're going to rest up. And guess what? Tomorrow, you're going to be really tested by the team we're playing.
Coming last in the challenge obviously doesn't help you one bit. Numbers are dwindling away, so our chances are going up. So to go home now will be pretty tough.
So rest up, get yourself prepared. Let's do it.
The great SCG. What a wonderful stadium for our players to sample, to feel, to look at. Players such as Adam Goodes for AFL football, Sir Donald Bradman for cricket, to change in the same change rooms as those greats. It's an opportunity for players to understand history and what it means.
Looked around the stands, the members' pavilion and the ladies' pavilion, and kind of just pictured not only the footballers that have played on the ground, it's the cricketers as well. So it's a privilege to play on it.
Getting into the members' pavilion change rooms, and I think it all hits us. That's where so many cricketing legends have had beers after the game and had many of conversations. There's signatures all over the walls.
Gilchrist?
Glenn McGrath, Greg Matthews, Brett Lee.
Yeah.
If those walls could talk, I think they'd tell a million stories.
I mean, Michael Clark, Steve Smith, the skipper spot.
Being a captain, I've got a lot riding on my shoulders. I get to lead the boys out onto an amazing oval and very historic oval, so to play here is going to be an awesome experience.
How are you, lads?
All right, boys.
Yeah, Nick.
Go, Mick.
What do you think about this place?
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Unreal.
So much history, isn't there?
Yeah.
Produced some great footballers, some great cricketers. Really, we're quite privileged to be here. So who you're playing today, boys, is the Sydney Academy.
The Swans Academy, there's no doubt that it's a breeding ground for great players.
Basically, that's where Swans get their next year of recruits from. They're going to be a really talented side.
And this is a game we're really looking forward to because you're going to be playing some real quality. You've got to find something special because we're going to put you right in the hurly-burly. All the best.
Hey!
Dicko!
We old mate.
G'day, boys. How are you, lads? Hi, mate.
Your name?
Fitzy walks through the door and my face lit up.
Hey, Geordie.
Geez, you're in good nick.
Yeah, we knew he was on the previous series.
We've been asking about you, mate.
Yeah.
So where have you been?
I know. You needed the guru, didn't you?
Matt was starstruck. I've seen Matt lost for words. Actually, Matt's always lost for words, but when Fitzy walked in, he wasn't even lost for words. He had no words to lose. He was shocked.
I thought I'd bring in a Swans legend, just have a bit of a chat and welcome you to the SCG, or as I like to call it, the FitCG.
Most people know Fitzy sort of takes a piss out of his footballing career, even though for anyone to kick 5 goals in an AFL game, especially on your debut, you can definitely play, so I could only dream of that.
Very excited to watch you boys play today. Good luck. Go and give it to the academy, eh? Thank you, all right? Do you want me to play? I can slip into a forward pocket or something. Come on, lads. Let's go, eh? 1 year today. Go, boys. Amazing venue, boys. Amazing venue. Let's take it all in.
Coming last in the challenge obviously doesn't help you one bit, so hopefully I can put my best foot forward.
Today, SCG, kick 6, kick 8, just have fun. No pressures, no boundaries, no nothing. Can't do anything about yesterday. It's in the past. All right? Go and enjoy it.
My best mate called me just before the game and told me that his mum had passed away in a car crash. So I just asked the boys if we could wear like armband.
Let's give everything we've got and show them that we deserve a spot in this competition. Come on, boys.
It's pretty nerve-wracking, I suppose. Those blokes that we're playing are basically going to be ready for AFL next year, so very exciting and can't wait for the challenge.
Nothing is insurmountable. Look where you guys are coming from.
Go, boys.
That real determined crack at having something that is so tangible and it's right in front of you.
All together, boys, round the square. Let's go. In tight. Starting from the Swans Academy all the way up to their seniors, the Sydney spirit is obviously to never give up, so this is going to be a tough game for the recruits.
Tell you one thing for certain, they've come out to fight. When you get to Daniel, tell him must find his man.
The Swans Academy came out with a bit of fight and gave us nothing, and they were getting first to the ball.
Well done your work!
Daniel was a bit on-off. He's either doing really well or he's not really having an impact.
Just get to Daniel, tell him if he's going to fly like that, then you know what he has to do? He has to actually take possession of the football, because here's another one that's cost us a goal because he's dropped 2 dead set bloody sitters. Both of them.
Daniel decided to jump off the ground and smother a football. Unfortunately, didn't smother with his arms or his hands, which is the preferred method of smothering. Used his ribs instead, which probably wasn't a great move. Playing the Swans Academy at SCG, one of the great ovals in Australia and if not the world. Daniel decided to jump off the ground and smother a football.
Knocked the wind out of me and I thought it might have done some damage.
Daniel, come on!
Just saying to myself, you know, get up, keep going. You know, and I was thinking, family, AFL contract, come on, get yourself up.
Bloody.
A few holding the balls from Darren, trying to take it on.
Darren, got to be clean.
Personally, I think Darren might be struggling a little bit. Yeah, after 3 people going, he's probably putting a bit of pressure on himself.
Use him! Oh. Run that ball, Justin! Run the ball!
I would just love him to not display that he's tired. Body language is so important, because what you do is just give it as a gift to your opponent. I don't want to know what his mood is.
You want the chest out. You want him Mick Jagger.
Yeah, there it is.
Mentally, I think he still wants to win the competition, but I think it generally comes down to fitness.
Well, there was a ball up in the middle of the ground after a goal.
Hunter ball, Hunter!
And I handballed it out to Darren on the wing, and then I got up to sprint forward, and then I heard this little pop, and I'm just like, that didn't sound too good.
Let's get him up, Doc. Did you stand on someone?
A little pop, I think it was just a little crack.
Yeah, Geordie just rolled his left ankle and he's got a mild sprain of his outside ligament of his ankle.
He hurt his ankle, yes, but, you know, he's a big boy. We're at the end of the competition where, you know, you just got to push through those things and try to play your best.
Ready, front.
Fill it up, fill it up. No cheap kicks.
Come on, boys, come on. Where's boys? Upbeat here, upbeat.
Boys, you know, you can almost pick it that they were going to fight like hell for the football. They were first at it. Our structures broke down. So this is going to be a test of, 1, your courage, 2, your fitness, 3, your resolve, and the thing that we want this week is that determination. Give us some chance, give us some space, and give us some time. All right, let's go.
Honestly, lads, these boys aren't going to die down. They'll be throwing everything at this contest. We'll show them that we're the recruits and we're here to play, boys. Come on.
We're all stuck in first gear, and I think once we saw that they were kicking our ass, I think we switched back on.
Ready, ready. Hey, mate.
That's better, Daniel. That's a good mark.
We come out and played the brand that we wanted to play.
Good boy, Jack.
Best on ground, I'd probably say Jack puts a lot of confidence in me to be a midfielder and know that if we stuff up in the midfield, there's a bloke out there that's going to stop it.
Well done, Jack.
Justin started off, you know, like a bull in a Chinese restaurant. He was on fire, kicked a couple sausage rolls and showed us exactly what he can do.
Having Justin up forward is amazing for us midfielders. We can have some real confidence that we just get it in that forward 50. Justin's going to do something pretty magical, and he very rarely misses.
Well done, Justin.
All our training was captured in that little bit of play, which is really good. He's got to finish it off, though. This is the test.
Yep. Yeah, Keep Justin.
It's a good finish. Real good finish. Geordie, feel ready to go. Take the first young bloke off here, number 21.
Regardless of how much pain I was in or how bad my ankle was, I was always going to get back out in that ground. I wasn't going to be sitting on the bench for the rest of the game.
Good boy, good use.
I was a little bit restricted, but I got through the game quite well and got a few more handy touches.
His mobility's not quite what it was, but he knows he has to be out there.
Jaden in the midfield was running it well as captain and getting a few hard balls, which is good.
His talking at half-time, during the game, after the game, before the game was amazing. And I think as a captain, he was the best we've had so far.
So yeah, I drifted forward and I was able to pluck one and go back and slot one on SCG, which was pretty amazing.
That's a good mark by Matt. Really good mark. Strong mark. And he's finished it off with a goal, so it's good. All the things we want from him. That's the carry. That was the carry.
Go, Darren, go! Take it on! Go!
Darren carrying the football, that would have been the goal of the rounds that we've seen so far.
Awesome, mate, awesome.
This game is make or break, and I wasn't too happy with my finish. I rushed it a bit. I had a lot more time than what I thought.
Great tackle.
Darren getting his hand to it every time. He's a 20-year-old kid, and I've said from the start that I'm a big fan of his.
Jackson, sensational, mate.
I reckon Jackson's a very good player. I think he flies under the radar a little bit because he doesn't do the big fancy stuff.
Kick. From lefty, skip.
Strongest competitor position-wise would be Jackson. Probably play similar roles in the back line, and Jackson's been playing pretty good football.
Well done, lads. A lot of points that we can take as positives. There's just a couple of little things that we certainly need to screw down to make us more complete players. We got tested there a couple of times physically and we put our head over it, by and large. You know, the thing that we wanted to do was have the determination today to play against an academy side, which we've done. So, all up, very, very happy for you. Good stuff, lads. Another one down. All right, you're on top of the ladder.
We're undefeated, boys!
Undefeated.
There'll be genuine panic in there after last week. Genuine panic.
If you can't work outside your comfort zone, you won't make it, son. We did have a chat. Bear with us.
I didn't expect that.
On the Jetstar flight back to Melbourne, sat down with Dicko and got some really good feedback.
Righto, first contest on the wing, awesome pressure. What's the follow-up?
You never know what the coaches think about your game, but he was genuinely pleased by the way I used the football and the way I went about each contest, so I feel a bit more safer in the competition for another week.
Absolutely. How quick are your hands? Lightning. That's the difference between a good and a great player. It's good.
I think he's probably the front runner, but in saying that, anyone can win it. It's the name of the game. A bit shattering for someone, but someone has to go.
It's quite extraordinary watching the dynamics of start at 15 down to 8 at the moment, and you think, how's this working? Who's taking control?
Lee's putting a lot of emphasis on each person with some pretty harsh questions, so it is getting heated.
Here we are.
And another.
Hopefully I don't see myself becoming part of the bottom three anytime soon.
Hey, Mick.
Virgo, how are you, mate?
Good to see you.
You
Well,
look well. Yeah.
trying to be.
Hey, Mick, how are you?
Bluey Gillette, eh? You missed out, son.
Hey, got a bit with a rough look, Burjo.
You have, mate.
Hey, these boys are stressing me out. That's why I'm just letting myself go.
Hello, recruits. Welcome back to the locker room. And as always, at the end of the session, I'm going to ask you to nominate who you think are the weakest 3 recruits.
We've really thinned the herd a bit, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Right down, isn't it?
Okay, so let's think about the challenge. Justin, you came last. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with how it went. I couldn't get over the wall, and that put me back. I was a long way back. I couldn't really see many people.
I've got to ask, you're built like a gorilla. How do you not get over the wall?
Gorillas can't jump.
But they can climb.
Well, I couldn't do that either.
That's pretty funny.
So, do you think you're giving it everything?
I feel like since I've come into the competition to now, I've improved my fitness and running a lot. Obviously, still there's a way to go, but I feel like I'm making inroads in that department.
You would have been horrified when you come up the ground and his opponent's marked here, so you've come across to do the manning up, and that's left him having to make up that 15 metres, 20 metres just to, and feeding him. He was calling for the iron lung.
Well,
so that's what really bothers me about him.
Honestly, it's 20 metres of zone 6 of sprint running and only 300 metres of high speed running. That's laughable. That's in the warm-up. You would get that.
What about just preparing for the games and you know, the coach is saying you look a bit tired and...
I think I prepare well. I'm a bit shocked. I don't know.
Okay. Or is it just your face?
Maybe just my ugly face, I reckon.
I think you've got quite an intense look, and which I've experienced in here before. And maybe it's a mismatch with body language versus what you're really thinking and so on. But it's worth pursuing with the rest of the coaching team about what did they mean and what did they want to see from you.
Well, he's kicked 6 goals, right?
Yeah.
His skin folds are great, aren't they?
Skin folds are good. They were good from the start and they're still good, so...
Yeah, he's looking after himself.
Yep.
Jaden, you won the challenge with an incredible time of 24:42 and became our captain for the week. How was that for you?
I think at this point in the competition, with all the blokes slowly falling off, I think it's a really good time to get captain, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the obstacles.
What's your strength as a captain, as a leader?
If I can't get involved with just my hands and by foot, I like to really be boisterous out there and get behind all the boys.
Boisterous? Is that a word, Mick?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, but then you asked the wrong bloke with me. While he's the old fella, no one's even going to remotely think about putting him down at the bottom three. Yeah, I know we're not looking at age.
But we've got to look at it.
That's exactly right.
We were just having a bit of a chuckle about Justin's 20 metres of zone 6 running. How many more metres do you think Jayden got?
By your reaction, there's 5 metres.
Exactly 5. To be fair to Jayden, this is his first disappointing game physically that I've seen, because he's been okay up to this point, but this is really poor.
Darren, tell me about your game.
Yeah, look, I feel I let myself down in the challenge. I was really disappointed. In the game, I really wanted to prove myself, so I felt I did that in patches.
So here's the issue. If we go to the Catapult GPS, his running has still not got close. He had one great effort where he hit 8.8 metres per second, which is quick. That is quick.
That's when he carried that one through the middle.
4 bounces.
Well, that is quick in anyone's language, right? But his ability to repeat that, he's below average for all of the recruits for high-speed running, and he's never, ever been above average.
This whole experience of being here at the Recruit is your chance to work out why you haven't made it yet and what you need to specifically do to get the shot at the title.
Yeah.
Who are you finding the most frustrating?
Geordie, because he's obviously a big presence. Feel he just needs to get involved more in the game.
Geordie, fair feedback?
Yep.
You're looking a bit pissed about that.
No.
His running was excellent, especially for someone who did an ankle and spent some time off, and his running was outstanding.
And I know you're on him about his kicking skills. I generally thought that he listened intently about that, and his use was much, much better.
That's where I feel he should be using his left foot, because in AFL footy, he's been shut down there.
Yeah.
Geordie, who are you finding the most frustrating?
Probably Daniel, just through lack of consistency. I mean, one day he might set the world on fire and the next minute he might go cold, so yeah.
Sometimes it's like he needs to be told off to perform. So, yes.
I agree totally what they're saying. He's as gifted as any of them. But when he's on, he's on. When he's a long way off, he's a long, long way off.
Well, you can't go from his game last week to the game he tossed up this week. He was autumn leaves. He was always on the ground.
Well, he tried to take 2 speckies, missed both. One resulted in a goal because he couldn't get up quick enough.
I thought he didn't hunt. He wasn't fanatical in tight. I think he could have wrapped many a player up and holding the ball.
How is he going in the house with the boys?
Oh, yeah, he's starting to get under their skin a bit.
Okay.
How about you, Captain Jayden? Who are you finding the most frustrating?
I'd probably say just on Matty. If I had his size, I would be the loudest, biggest brute out there and just throw my weight around and do whatever I could to get any person out of my way to get myself to the football. So I think it just frustrates me that I'm small and he's tall.
Matt, I know you've been fairly challenged by trying to find that voice.
Yeah, I definitely got to be a bit more vocal. I think I got a bit stuck during the game. Just this standard of footy, I'm a little bit lost in the forward line, so I think I'll just work on that during the week.
If Matty Eagles yelled at me, it'd be the first time. I just need to see him do that and really, really have a presence. And I agree with Jayden there. I think that's what he was asking.
His ground ball on the weekend was exceptional.
He had 35 hit-outs. He had 8 marks. He had 18 possessions. Guess how many tackles he had? 12. 12 tackles. He hits, then he gets up and he goes again. Talk about Daniel wanting to hunt. He hunts.
So, guys, what I want you to do now is grab your iPads because it's time to rate your mate. Before you vote, I want you to really think about who you're voting for this week at the pointy end of the competition.
Well, it's going to be interesting in there. I know we've got 8 left, but the vote's probably more important now in terms of who they throw up for the top 3.
There'll be genuine panic in there after last week. Genuine panic.
Who deserves to be delisted? Who's got what it takes to get to the AFL level and who hasn't? Thanks, guys. It's time for you all to pack up your lockers. See you next time.
Given that there's only 8 boys left in the competition and, well, almost half of us are going to end up in the bottom 3, all us boys were kind of on edge a little bit.
After the locker room, I'm feeling really nervous. I feel like, this is my time. I'm heading home.
Has the email come through yet?
I'm just refreshing. Here it is. The bottom 3 results. Number 1.
My fellow recruits, they feel threatened by me because they know, they can see I'm improving a lot, and they know I'm a good player as well. So they're always worried when we're coming out that I'm gonna light it up.
I trust all the boys in the house to make the right decision, and at this time in the competition, I don't really want to be making any enemies. But if someone's in there that I don't think should be in there, I'll definitely use my captain's call.
Well, recruits, things certainly got real this week. There's 8 of you standing in front of me now. There is nowhere to hide and no way of going underneath the radar. We need to make sure we're moving forward with someone who can win an AFL contract. One of you will be delisted tonight.
Boys, this week has been about dedication. The longer you're in the company of good teammates like this, the harder it gets.
In your opinion, the 3 weakest recruits are? Daniel. Matt. Darren. Jaden, please step forward. As captain this week, you have the ability to change this lineup. You can swap one of these boys with a recruit who you think is more deserving to be in the bottom 3. Or you can put yourself in the bottom 3 and back yourself to get through. Or you can leave it as is. Jaden, do you want to use your captain's call?
Yeah, I'll use my captain's call.
Who do you think deserves to be in the weakest 3 this week?
He kicked 6 on the weekend. But I'll put Justin up.
Justin, please step forward. Jaden, who have you decided to save and why?
The bloke I've decided to save out of these 3, I think he's doing all the right things and he's here for the right reasons. And I'll save Darren.
Darren, how are you feeling right at this moment?
Grateful, bit of mixed emotions. I'm grateful, but I don't know what to say at the moment.
Jaden, Darren, you can both return to the group. Justin, your teammates didn't think you deserved to be here, but your captain's put you in. How do you feel about that?
I guess the competition's really heating up now. I guess it was a big call by the captain to make. Yeah, it's tough.
You ready to leave this competition yet?
No.
Justin, you've had some really good highs, you've kicked goals. I worry about being able to play high forward. So if you can't work outside your comfort zone, you won't make it, son. Matty, or very few players at 199 run around in the ruck all day. They have to go forward. AFL level, you've got to be something that is dangerous. Can we get you to that next stage at your age? Daniel, we don't talk about your skill, but we talk about your temperament. Have you got it under control? Not easy. We did have a chat. Bear with us.
I didn't expect that.
One of you is not draftable. One of you will not be the recruit. You're delisted. Justin. Feel like something. All right. You look after yourself. You've been a credit to this group. Someone had to go. Good boy.
Pretty shattered. My legs are shaking. I see my dream's over now. I'll go back and play with my mates and just enjoy footy.
It's harder and sadder, doesn't it? Harder and harder and harder. But we would say that this is the best 7 out of the 15. Fair? Yep. So it's going to be difficult. Every opportunity you got, use. Don't waste it.
Recruits, you only have 3 weeks left with us. Rest up. Let's go.
My choice to put Justin in was simply strategic. He kicked 6 goals, so I put him in thinking we'd be able to eliminate Daniel or Matt.
I didn't know Jaden was going to use his captain's call. Us 3 were probably the closest 3 in the house, and to see one of our best mates go was shocking.
It kind of felt like Shiloh all over again, pulling Shiloh out from the group and putting him in the bottom 3 and then seeing him go home. I was expecting to go home, and to see Justin go home, I felt as if, it should have been me.
Next time.
Spread! Go anywhere!
The recruits reach breaking point.
Hard, come on, push!
Things heat up on the track. Go! The boys get into the trenches before the most emotional D-list so far.
Don't take me on